Every sale you make uses a funnel. Now, there are offline funnels and online funnels. However, regardless of what marketers say, they all work if you know how to use them. But not everyone understands how to use the funnel they're using, which is part of the reason their sales are inconsistent. And you must use the right funnel for the goal you're going after. So in this video, I'm giving you the 3 funnels you'll need for your coaching or consulting business. Now, the 3 funnels you're going to learn about end with a sales call. So you're going to be in person or over the phone or video, and you'll need a dependable process for converting your best leads into clients. And to help you do that, I'm offering you my pleasing call framework. Now, I've developed this customizable script over the last 5 years of conducting dozens of sales calls and working with professional sales coaches who've helped me mold it into, honestly, a thing of beauty. It closes like crazy without having you be salesy because it's designed to help you have conversations. And the selling is embedded. So if you want to check it out, drop the word please, P-L-E-A-S-E, in the comments below, and I'll get it to you. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Fortune. I'm the author of 3 books and a self-publishing strategist for established coaches and consultants who want to write a book and use that book to grow their business. And I've created a proprietary method of getting your book out of your head in less than 4 hours using a phone and a few websites. This show teaches you how to do that and build the sales funnels to turn your leads into clients and customers. And remember, you're only 1 book away from a breakthrough in your life or business, so let's talk about your thought fortune. To be clear about the definition of a sales funnel, I define a sales funnel as a person's journey from a sales attraction to sales action. Again, sales attraction to sales action. Cold calling is an example of a sales funnel. See, sales attraction occurs when the salesperson connects with someone on the cold call. Now, sales action, as the name implies, is when the person takes a sales action. That's either a yes or a no or a maybe. I read a book by Frank Bedker several years ago as part of my sales training for an MLM that I joined. And the book's title was How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling, right? Boom, right here. And it documented the author's journey from playing third base for the St. Louis Cardinals, go Cards, to becoming a star in insurance sales. And this is back from the early 1900s. Now, he wasn't good at first and he quit. But on the day he went to grab the last of his items from his desk, he heard the president of the company say, quote, "Show me any man of ordinary ability who will go out and earnestly tell his story to 4 or 5 people every day. And I will show you a man who just can't help making good." When Frank heard that statement, it changed his perspective. He returned to insurance sales and with a whole renewed enthusiasm. And unlike today where you can share your story over the internet, which I'm going to get to soon, Frank had to pick up the phone or walk the streets to get his sales. His funnel boiled down to a simple tracking systems: calls, interviews, amount written, amount paid, premiums, and commissions. Perfecting this funnel was the foundation of his success. And the rest of the book is about how to tweak the sales process so that you can improve your closing rates and improve or increase your average order value. Now, here's the thing. Not much has changed other than the medium you use to conduct the calls, the interviews, and etc. In some ways, selling is easier because of automation. But as a coach or consultant, you still need to know how to speak to people. So you can use my pleasing call framework, as I already mentioned, to help you with that. Now, before we get you there, let's talk about 3 concepts as they pertain to sales funnels and the 3 funnels you'll need for coaching or consulting business. The 3 concepts are type, process, and value. This is We're talking about sales funnels here, the type, the process, and the value of a sales process, of these sales funnels. And I'm going to discuss each in depth so that you understand how to let your funnels do the work. Okay? So first off, we're going to start off with type. As it relates to type is, there are so many sales funnels. You have group funnels, book funnels, webinar funnels, direct message funnels, text message funnels, email funnels, low ticket funnels, lead magnet funnels, application funnels, summit funnels, and content funnels. Those are just what I can remember. So there are probably even more funnels than that. Now, here's the thing about this. Because there are so many sales funnels, it can be confusing about which one to use for your business. And as I said, any of them will work if you put the right pieces in place. And you must know where you're trying to take your customer. You need to know what their customer journey is, where that sales action is going to take place, and how you want to take them from sales attraction to sales action. That journey. Do you want to bring them on, use text messaging? Do you want to use a book sales funnel? Do you want to use a group funnel? Which process is best fit for you and your personality and the way you want to convey the information? Because the best way, one of the best ways, if not the best way to help someone sell themselves is to give them the education on the product or service that you have and let them decide for themselves based on what you've taught them whether they want to buy your product or refer it to someone else. So education-based selling, which is part of what we're doing here on this YouTube video, or those who are listening to the podcast, you are being educated on these processes, and hopefully, of course you should know that I'm trying to bring you on as a client if you so choose me as a person that you want to work with. If not, you've still been educated about what you need to do in order to grow your coaching or consulting business, or to write your book in order to grow your coaching or consulting business. That is the entire package. So this is one form of my sales funnel. As you'll find out later, all assets that you have in your business are going to are part of your sales funnel. Okay? But that's getting ahead of myself. Let me talk about what this means, or what it can look like as a sales funnel. Specifically speaking about my chiropractor journey. I got onto Facebook and I got this ad from a local chiropractor. I don't know why it popped up there because I hadn't been searching for things on Facebook for chiropractors. I had, however, been on YouTube searching for ways of loosening up my neck and trying to improve my posture, because I saw these videos on TikTok of all places where people were like getting their whole back just popped, and people changing their lives because a chiropractor loosened things up for them. So I was watching these videos on how to do that for myself. Personal chiropractic type techniques. I don't necessarily recommend them, but this is what I was doing. So when this ad popped up on Facebook, I was like, I gotta have this. Obviously, this is the universe telling me that I need to go to a chiropractor. Of course, this is part of the sales funnel process for this chiropractor that I ended up working with. And when I got to the chiropractor's office, they gave me a tour of the offices and told me about what it's going to look like as I come in and you're going to go into this office and you're going to sit on these chairs and do this little routine as I loosen up my lower back on some little bubble thing that sits in the chair. Then I'm going to get my back or spine or whatever, I'm going to get adjusted. And then I'm supposed to walk around this facility for about 3 to 5 minutes before I get in my car and leave, and I check out and whatnot on the way out. So they told me about my process, their future casting, what it's going to look like when I become a client. I hadn't become a client yet, but they told me what it's going to be like. They took me into a room and they did all these types of tests and assessments, like 3 different tests and assessments, and they took some x-rays of my spine and all this to see where I would need some help and if they could help me to correct whatever situation was going on with my body. My next appointment with them, they discussed what they found in those tests and gave me a path to correct what was going on in my spine. And then he broke down some payment mechanisms that are processes that I could use, payment plans, or using how to work with my insurance company, all of that type of stuff to close the deal. And it was very simple. I could get it or I could not get it. It didn't have to be pushed upon me. I chose to work with him. So now I moved into the next phase of this journey with my chiropractor. And this next phase included me coming in to be taught more about the whole journey by literally going through a whole presentation of what it's going to look like as I continue to grow or go through my chiropractor journey, my corrective processes, and to introduce other people to what I was doing. Then I was offered a chance to go to dinner and bring anybody I wanted to that dinner to introduce them to the chiropractor to find out what would help them, okay? And I was offered a bonus for bringing people there if they decided to join. Then I was asked to, later on, after a couple months of going through chiropractor regularly and keeping up with my program and getting some progress in correcting my spine and my neck from being hunched over typing in the computer, then they asked me to record a video, a testimonial for them. Now, this whole journey takes us through the entire process that they have created for me. And there are some other upsells they had with me along the way, including buying some contraption to help reestablish the arch and offering me some other things that are like honey and different things that are offered in the offices and coffees and weight loss programs. All these things are offered as part of the upsell. They have a complete customer journey for all of their clients. And it's no wonder that when I was in the offices, I found out that several people had been there for years. For years. This is the chiropractic journey. These are the types of sales funnels that I want to help you build. From bringing someone in, using social media or using ads or whatever it may be, to getting into having a presentation and to finally bringing them to the application, okay? These are the 3 funnels that you're also going to use for your coaching business. An acquisition funnel, a presentation funnel, and an application funnel. Those are the 3 funnels. Those are the only 3 funnels you need. You need a way to acquire a new lead or new person into your system, into your ecosystem so they can see what you have to offer. You need a way to present to them how you're going to change their life. What is this? What is it going to look like as a client? What is it going to look like when they get their results? What is that whole process of working with you going to look like? That is your presentation funnel. And the application funnel is the 3rd piece. That is, what does it look like to close the sale? When they're going to make the payment, when they come in you teach them about how their specific situation, how you're going to help them in a specific situation. What do the payment options look like? And then what is it going to look like in the future as the application is still continuing on with them as you're continuing to retain them and bring in other clients. That is still part of the process as you move on through the coaching and consulting process, okay? That is number 1, choosing your type. And those are the 3 types that you want to use. Number 2, we're going to talk about the process. Now, the process that we are using in a sales funnel is this. You're going to attract, you're going to convert, and you're going to transform. These are the 3 processes that you want to use in your consulting business or coaching business. And the reason why you want to follow these, just focus on these 3 things here, is that it follows again the acquisition funnel, the presentation funnel, the application funnel. But when we talk about transform, we are going a little bit further. So when you transform your client, you are making them into someone that's going to be referring for you. They're becoming a fan of your business. They're going to start bringing referrals to you because you are over delivering. You are getting the results and doing it at such a high level with such excellence that they want to bring people to you. That is the goal, the ultimate goal of your consulting business, because now they're going to give you testimonials. They're going to give written testimonials. They're going to give you video testimonials. They're going to tell other people, you need to come over here and and look at this person, at my coach over here or my consulting firm. They're awesome. You want to work with them. That is a transformation process, because they go from not only transforming in the services that you're giving them, but they also transform into someone that's working with you. Okay, and helping you to continue grow and building and selling your business. Before that, you have the convert. Now, the conversion process may come in the form of the ads. It may come in the form of continue to create more content out there, follow-up content. You may be in a form of emails. It's one of the best ways for you to continue to convert someone is to send them updated emails when you're producing more content, and asking them to close, asking them to purchase something, asking them to get on a phone call, asking them to watch a presentation. Get them into the next phase of your 3 sales funnels, which is the presentation. Okay, that's where the conversion happens. The attraction portion of this, the attraction process, the attraction portion of this is any number of things. Again, we're talking about ads. It could be a referral. It could be your content. It could be you doing a presentation like a sales in a summit. It could be you speaking to a group of people. It could be your book put it out there for sale or for free. It could be some type of download that you're giving out there. The attraction process is something you have to decide for yourself what is best for you. Now, of course, content, because of the age we live in the 21st century, is one of the best ways of creating this attraction portion of it. You're listening to content right now, or you're watching this video. That is part of my attraction phase. Now, I must be clear here. The follow-up system and the process that you're creating of your sales funnel is one of the key pieces. One of the most important pieces of your system. I have tried so many things with sales funnel, with the follow-up systems. I've tried using index cards. I've tried putting what was called Fort Knox in a box, which means I would collect these different business cards from people that I meet in person networking events. And in this, you remember the recipe boxes your grandma used to have? There's like a little hard box, and it was like the little cards inside of there. Well, I had one of those. You put the card in there, and based upon when you need to talk to that person next, you would file them in the next month or the next week, so that you follow when you go into your system again and look for who the phone calls you need to do for today. They will be in that system. That worked, but it was a lot of work for me. I didn't like doing that. It wasn't automated. I had to constantly go in there and update it. I've used Trello boards. Trello boards worked very, very well for me to just slide someone over to the next stage in the process. But I had to remember to go put somebody into Trello in order for that to happen. So it got tedious, and I didn't want to do it. Because when you get to a long list of people who are following up, it's hard to try to find that individual on your Trello board to do that. But it works if you have a handful of people you're trying to work with at one time, at any given time. So now at this point, I have used an all-inclusive process called FG funnels, and the system I have there allows me to put people into my email system, but also put them into a CRM. It's all included into one package. So I can send direct emails, I can send text messages, I can send direct messages all from one platform to anyone, or I can call them from the platform. I forgot about that. If I can call them from the platform, if I want to, whoever we're trying to follow up with. There's a process for me to take notes so I can find out what I spoke with them about last and continue to nurture the relationship that I have with the clients or the potential clients that I can have. Okay, so that follow-up system is one of the key pieces. You got to figure out what system is going to work best for you, whether that's just calling people up, sending messages, text messages, or direct messages to follow up with someone, bring them into a Facebook group and you're constantly following up with them in there, or any other type of Mighty Networks or any other group that you may want to have right there for people to congregate in one area, and you can send a message to them. Choose the follow-up system and get very good at it. That is one of the key pieces to this whole process. Once you've acquired them and you want to keep following up with them. Once you've done a presentation, if they haven't sold, you want to keep following up with them. If they've gone through the application funnel and they have not closed yet, it said they want to purchase from you yet, you need to be following up with them. At every one of these funnels, you are needing some way of following up with the people that are going through your customer journey. It is very, very key to your success. But I want to say this. There are so many ways of adding and stacking sales funnels and email funnels and all types of funnels on top of each other so that they all become this big, convoluted, complex system. I'm asking you, KYFS, keep your funnel simple. Keep it super simple. At a certain point, maybe you can add some extra layers and make it very complex if you need to. But in the beginning, as you're growing, you can be very simple. keep it super simple until you get to the point where you have to grow your business, grow your complexity of your sales funnel system. You don't need to be complex in order to hit 6 figures. To even hit 7 figures, you can keep very, very simple sales funnels. Okay? So that's the process. The final piece here is value. The importance of the value is that you want to understand how people are going through the value of the people that are coming into your sales funnel or coming out the other end of them. What I mean by this is realizing that as you are creating these different offers, or you are closing people into different products or different levels, you want to know on average how much money a next lead is worth. So what I mean by that is, as we talked about with Frank Bretker, where he had the calls, then we had the interviews, and then he had how much he brought in and how much commissions he made. When he looked at those numbers over the course of a year, he found out he did like over 1,800 sales calls like in that first year when he finally started figuring out this whole sales system. And he made like $14,000 or whatever at the end of that year. Again, this is like early 1900s, so that was a lot of money back then. What he found out from dividing the amount of money he made by the number of calls that he had made, he found out that each call he made amounted to about $2 and something and change, okay? That helps him figure out the value of every time he makes another post, another conversation that he has, and it pushes him to continue having those conversations, because the amount of money he makes is going to be predictable. That is why you want to understand the value of your sales funnel. See, a good funnel sets up the final sale. So you need to know what your final sale is and the value of all those other conversations that do not result in a final sale. You need to know how much value they are, because they all are leading up to that final sale. Okay? So what this looks like for me is as I really started understanding that all the pieces of my funnel, all the assets that I have in my business are part of my funnel. They should all lead to like one area. Okay, so one sale. You need to know what that product that you're selling, so that your books, your downloads, all your sales conversations, all your marketing conversations, all your free content, everything's going to lead to one final sale, right? So I used to hand my book out a lot when I was in person. The reason why I handed my book out is because I figured every person I handed the book out was getting me that much closer to getting another sale, and it absolutely worked. Doing that also got me onto more stages, because people knew who I was as the author of the book on Unlimited Potential, to get me on stages for speaking about personal development and about recovery and addiction. The book on overcoming procrastination helped me to get into other areas, again, talking about personal development and business. And the book that I used for at the time, as you see back in the back, How to Write Your First Book in less than 4 hours, now becoming the 4-hour book. That book helped me to book sales from the people that were in the audiences at these coaching and marketing events, so that I could actually have a better conversation with them afterward. That was part of my acquisition funnel in the beginning. Here's my book, and have people purchase the book. Then I transitioned to speaking from stage. Now, speaking from stage may be the live stage in person. It might be the stage that we're seeing here now, as we're talking about on the virtual stages, or being on podcasts, things of that nature. They're all stages that I can use in order to grow my authority and to reach people that I wouldn't otherwise reach. When you are speaking one-to-many, you can get in front of a lot of people. That virtual stage might also be the webinars, which is the next version of what I did. As I took those sales presentations and honed in my talking points and found out what people resonated with from my talking points from virtual stages and from in-person stages, I started refining my webinars so that I spoke on those points that people found very poignant. So that now my mini webinar, which is at signaturebbookformula.com, is 16 minutes. And it hits all the key points, brings in the testimonials, and it creates it filters all of the people that are coming through my sales funnel so that when I actually get on a call with them, they already know what I'm offering. They already understand what the process looks like, and they know that what they're going to get in the end. The same thing that I learned, that I went through with my chiropractor, I now do in a 16-minute video that is a webinar that comes from handing out my books and talking to people face to face, getting on stage and perfecting the different pieces of my presentation so that when I finally did the mini webinar, I knew exactly what to say and didn't have to make it a big, big, long presentation. Now, on top of that, you have the other pieces. This video, the other content that I put, the podcast that I put out, the podcast that I'm being interviewed on, all these pieces, the social media posts are all helping to educate people on what it is I have to offer. You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing. I'm saying that everything you see me do, you can do yourself. So you stop having unfiltered conversations. I'm telling you this right now. I had so many conversations before I learned this whole sales funnel process and started perfecting my own systems. I had so many unfiltered conversations with people that ended in no sales that I couldn't take it anymore. I thought I was going to fail. I started resenting people that I was having conversations with because they said they wanted to write a book. I would sit down, have these conversations with them, and they would do nothing. That does not feel good. Okay? You want to be able to have filtered conversations with people who know, like, and trust you, and now you're just making the offer to them through your sales calls, okay? And what that looks like is the pleasing framework, which you can definitely get here very shortly. Now, one thing I want to say before I close this out here. America's first millionaire, Benjamin Franklin, he also used book sales funnels. In fact, the first known magazine advertisement appeared in his General magazine in 1741. So he was using sales funnels, using a book in the form of a magazine to sell more products for other people and for himself. Okay? Not only that, in 1744, the first catalog was printed by Benjamin Franklin, and it contained over 500 volumes of scientific and academic books. So he used a book, he put it out there to other people. That was his acquisition funnel. He presented them with all the different books that he had to offer, and they had to apply for the books that they wanted, the scientific books or the academic books that they wanted. He's been using book funnels and ads and sales funnels to become the first millionaire in the U.S. I think there's some merit to what we've been discussing today. If you need to review it, go back and listen to what we discussed here. But just to be clear here for the coaches and consultants, the 3 funnels you need are an acquisition funnel, a presentation funnel, and application funnel. You need an acquisition funnel to bring in new people to what you have to offer. You need a presentation funnel so they know what you have to offer. And you have an application funnel so that they can actually buy what you have to offer, so they can come into your process. And with each one of those funnels, you need to have a follow-up system for them, whether that's emails, which is the best way to do it, or direct messaging, whatever ways you're going to do that. And finally, you need to know the value of each one of those people that come into your acquisition, presentation, and application funnel so that you can continue to filter and streamline your conversation so that you can close more people and raise your prices as you're doing it, so they become more valuable to you. Now, with this said, the one thing I really love about sales funnels is that funnels are an introvert's best friend. I'm not necessarily someone who wants to go out and talk to people all the time. It takes a lot of energy out of me, although I've learned to do it. I'd rather sit here, make videos, and you just come to me, which is part of the reason why I do that, right? But I still need a sales funnel. I still need some way of helping people to get to know me when I can't get to know them myself, or it pulls away from me energetically to go meet all these people all of the time. Because I don't like hard selling tactics. So with the help of some sales coaches, some very talented sales coaches, I created a way to sell through conversation. And I tested it for the last 5 years, y'all. I tested it for the last 5 years, and it's a work of beauty, right? The process I developed is going to be my gift to you for watching here today, for listening here today. And it's called the Pleasing Call Framework. And I've used it to help dozens of people buy my coaching and consulting packages ranging from $1,000 over to over $10,000. Okay, the same framework applied to the process, and we help them filter themselves into what they need for them. It's just a conversation, right? So if you would like a copy of this, the Pleasing Call framework, all you have to do is type please, Please, type it down in the comments, and I will get a copy of it out to you. And with that being said, you can be, you can do, you can have anything you want in this world. You just got to believe. You can live a life of no doubt, just blessings will show you out. And always remember that you're only one book away from the next breakthrough in your life, on your business. So go out there and make life happen every day, every day. God bless. And I'll talk to you next time.